Hey, this is Brent with BDA Studios, and I want to talk to you about the AnyCubic Kobra 3 Max. If you've used any of the bamboo printers, you're familiar with like the A1, and you're familiar with the build size that you can get with it. And with the Kobra 3 Max and the combo, which gives you the 4-color print option, you're really opening up the possibilities. So I was really excited when I got this. I've never used a large format printer before, and so I didn't know what to expect. Well, the first thing you have to realize when you order something like this is you need a lot of space. And as you can see, this is a 4-foot wide table, and right now I have it set up this way so that the bed can go forward and back without any interruption. It wouldn't fit the depth. You would need a much deeper tabletop. And then having the 4-color print, you have to have that close enough to where it can feed properly. So this was the solution I came up with, and it seems to work just fine. When I did get this in April, there was a problem with the print bed being off the rail, and I reached out to customer service, and they responded the next day and gave me some instructions, and I was able to fix it. It has been working just fine. I haven't had any issues as a result of that weird print bed. So when you go to a large printer like this, there's a lot of things you have to figure out. And the one thing I didn't understand at the time, and now that as soon as it happened, I realized, oh, well, that makes sense. You have to consider that everything you're doing is much bigger, and so the laws of physics really impact how the material behaves, and literally the weight of the model will cause it to sag. So I printed a garbage bin in the largest size that I could to get a sense of it. Now, again, this is my inexperience, and once you see it, you'll realize, oh yeah, you got to do something different. Well, what happened is I printed a very large bucket, and as you can see, it's really wavy. And the reason it's wavy is because it's literally the physical size. The weight of the material causes it to sag. So even though it printed and it looks really cool, this is not necessarily the design I was after. So that's why you see when people print these larger bins, there will be some geometric sides to it so that it can support itself. But lesson learned, there is a problem where it pulled away from the bottom layers. And again, I think it's just the physics of it. So when you're dealing with a larger printer like this, you have to understand, okay, there's different behaviors. There's things that happen when you're dealing at such a large scale. The other thing I did, so I've got these little fidget eggs, and I wanted to print a big one. So I printed a big one. Now the problem is, again, you have lots of questions like, what do you do for the fill and the number of wall layers, and what do you do to make it scale? Well, the problem was that I didn't know what settings worked best or not. So right now what I'm holding is a very delicate egg. The edges are coming apart. I didn't have enough wall thickness, and I didn't have enough infill, and so it's more of a look but don't touch piece. So I figured that out, and so then I have these little fidget stars that I've made, and so I made a bigger one, so it's a much bigger, and this is very sturdy, but at the same time this has a much thicker walls, much thicker infill. The other thing you learn about large printers like this is it takes a lot of filament. So all of a sudden you have to make the decision, if I'm going to print a very large object, Am I ready to commit a kilogram of filament, or what am I going to do to make this work? So there's a lot of trade-offs. So I got the large fidget star, so this one works and it holds up. It's very large. A lot of fun. I found this print-in-place katana that is public domain, and I printed this one on my X1 carbon, and it works. It's really cool. Collapsible. A lot of fun. So I thought to myself, what if I made it bigger? And so I printed, this is actually a different version, but I had it set up and I printed it so again, yeah, we're looking much larger, and yeah, it's bigger for sure. So I printed that one, and then I thought, what if I printed it as big as physically possible on this machine? This can print as tall as 15 inches or 500 millimeters tall. So I decided to print the same katana at 500 millimeters for the handle. And what that gives you is a very large sword. This sword stands 5 foot 3 inches tall. Now I happen to be 6'4", but this is a very large sword. So it's really fun. It's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's the question. Print big stuff. So I decided, okay, these are fun toys. What else can I print that's big? I have a D20 that I printed, and I scaled that one up. Now, here's where I ran into a problem, and it was the first problem that I had with the printer. And I've done, you know, a couple hundred hours of printing on this machine, and the only issues I've found is either the physical design of the 3D model. I didn't plan for the physical weight and size, and so it had problems. Or there was one instance and I threw it away. I didn't keep it, but you'll see how there's layers, color layers. Well, I had 2 different filaments that were different brands, and I was printing a larger circle fidget sphere, and when it went to the second color, it didn't adhere because they were 2 different brands and they didn't stick together, and so then there was a layer shift and it didn't work. So again, it was more of the physical properties of the filament, but the printer has done a great job. I printed my D20 and I thought, I want to make that bigger. What can I do? Well, I started making it bigger, and then I ran into a problem where I had the clog, and as a result, because I didn't know how to fix it right, I ended up ruining the print. I couldn't finish. I did get it fixed and worked out well. So this is a nice large D20. Now, there were some problems, and I did try to fix it by welding it and using actually a 3-doodler to add some material to keep it together. I haven't quite fixed this yet, but anyway, it was a proof of concept, something I enjoyed. I also printed regular 6-sided dice, and I decided to make it bigger, and then I wanted to make it even bigger. So we have a much larger 6-sided dice. Now, when you look at these, there are some surface imperfections, and again, that's the nature of dealing with printing at scale and not having enough wall thickness, having the order in which things print, whether it's inner, outer, inner, dealing with overhangs. There's lots of little things that are problems when it comes to printing at scale. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions about working with this machine, let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer those. And if there's enough interest, I'll create another video and go into more detail as to what I do to get this to print. But I'm very happy with the AnyCubic Kobra 3 Max combo and highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.